I'll unmute myself. That's a good start to the stream, isn't it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, Pam, my friend. Hey, Max, it's good to see you. And a big ups to the replay crew, because I know you guys are a huge part of the show, and this channel wouldn't be what it is without you guys supporting it. So thank you very much. If you don't know, we did or spun the wheel of, I don't even know what to call it, the wheel of names. And you see my pretty picture in the middle there. And it landed on South Carolina. So, yeah, today I'm going to do a couple of cases from South Carolina that I've found. One is quite an old case. It's quite a few years old. But one is also quite a new case. It's just last year. Yeah, my co-host is absent, but that's not to say that he might pop up during the stream, you know. He's a bit like flies by the seat of his pants, comes in when he feels like it, comes when he doesn't, you know. Yeah, unreliable to the max, but, you know, there's still hope that he might show up. All right, well, we might get into it. Hopefully we'll get more people to come in for the chat. That would be awesome. Yeah, Pam, there's lots to choose from. Absolutely. And yeah, bless us with his presence, right? If we're lucky enough today. Oh, I love him. Okay, so let's start and get into the cases. nzmissing@gmail.com. If you have got a case from South Carolina, we can look at while we're doing the live stream, because I do only have two. So it's not going to be an overly long one, but let's get into it. So if I can find the right button, here we go. So first we are going to the charlieproject.org. They are amazing. They have literally have hundreds and thousands of profiles of missing people in the United States. You can go by state and geographical. You can go by ages. You can go by, just all sorts of things. Max, I have a PayPal. It's in the description box below. We don't have Venmo in New Zealand, unfortunately. So let's go over a couple of the details. She has been missing since the 4th of September 2003 from Aiken, South Carolina. Endangered missing, female, white, her date of birth 1969, 34 she was at the age she went missing, 5'3", 102 pounds. That's so sweet, Pam. Possibly a white t-shirt with writing on the front and pink or grey sweatpants, possibly carrying a paper. She was last seen in a borrowed blue/green 94 Pontiac Grand Am. And as we go through a couple of the articles, some things will slightly differ. Hey, Kaleidoscope, good to see you. So distinguishing characteristics. Caucasian male, Caucasian female, brown hair, blue eyes. She may use the last name Mabry. I thought this was interesting. Her right foot is slightly smaller than her her right foot is slightly smaller than her left foot. I'm getting mouthwash today. And her right big toe is smaller than her left one. I'm not sure how many people are going to be looking at her toes, but there you go. Her ears are pierced and she has a small scar below her navel and a slight overbite. You remember this case, Pam? So let's go through the details of her disappearance. Lisa Marie's teenage daughter was spending the night at a friend's home on September 3rd, 2003. She called her mum at her Aiken, South Carolina home, and they spoke about 7 a.m. on September 4th. Her daughter told her mum that she would be getting a ride after school with friends, so she didn't have to worry about picking her up. About an hour later, an acquaintance saw Lisa Marie in a blue-green 94 Pontiac Grand Am. What a nice car. At the Pit Stop convenience store on Pine Log Road in Aiken. The friend said she appeared to be reading as she sat in her car idling, and the car was actually borrowed from a friend because her car was not on the road at this stage. She called a friend at 10 o'clock that day and told him that she was expecting a guest. She didn't elaborate about this guest. She was supposed to pick her son up from the bus stop that afternoon after school, but she didn't pick him up. She has never been heard from again, and all phone calls after 10 a.m. went to nothing. It was unanswered. I have mouthwash today. Seriously, I've got to get over this. Okay. Her daughter became concerned that evening when she was unable to contact her mum. She went to her mum's Miller Street home about 6 or 7 p.m. The house was locked and her car was still parked there. Now, cars were both parked there. The one that she borrowed was still parked there from what I can gather, and also her own car that was not going or something was also parked there. There was dinner on the stove, but it had been moved off the burner and had a napkin on the teapot handle. So it wasn't dinner, it was tea, like cup of tea. But her purse was missing, but her driver's license and social security card were there. She was divorced in 2003 and was a single parent to her 2 children. She is a graduate of Midland Valley High School and has work experience in bookkeeping and secretarial duties. She was unemployed at the time of her disappearance. Her last job was managing Jericho's, a private club on Belvedere Clearwater Road, owned by a relative. Shuttleworth's parents believe she was abducted from outside her home, and police suspect foul play was involved in her disappearance. It is uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning or to abandon her children, who are now in the care of their maternal grandparents. Her case remains unsolved. So from all accounts, she was a really good, attentive mother who wouldn't have just skipped out on her kids and left her kids. So we'll go to the next one, newsbreak.com. There's a few details in this one that we haven't got in the last one. Whether they're true or not, we don't know, but let's have a look. Lisa Marie Shuttleworth was a single mum of 2 who lived in Aiken, South Carolina, and you can't see, so I will share the tab so you can. God, I'm so amateur today. So she lived in South Carolina with her 8-year-old son, Ryan, and 14-year-old daughter, Christina. The 34-year-old was divorced from Jack in 1996, and he was not very involved in the kids' lives. Lisa worked at Jericho's, a bar owned by her dad. But like we read before, she was unemployed. Lisa says she owned a Pontiac Grand Am, but it broke down shortly before she went missing. She borrowed a white Lincoln Town car from a friend of hers. So we're getting a bit of discrepancy, but I'm hoping that the article next will actually clear that up. On the morning of September 4th, Lisa made breakfast for Ryan and took him to school. Christina had spent the night with her grandparents. Lisa was supposed to meet Ryan at the bus stop after school, and she planned to pick Christina up later that evening. However, she never showed up. When Ryan got off the school bus and realised that his mum wasn't there, he made the short walk home, where he found both Lisa's vehicle and the car that she had borrowed parked in the driveway. Since the front door was locked, Ryan decided to wait at a friend's house across the street. You know what? I remember sometimes, just a couple of times, that my mum forgot about me when I was younger, and I would come home to a locked door and nobody home. And as a young child, that was actually quite distressing. Yeah, didn't like that at all. At 6 p.m., Christina called her mum several times, wondering why she hadn't picked her up, but there was no answer. A short time later, Neil arrived at Lisa's home, upset she hadn't returned his car that she was borrowing that day. When Ryan told him that his mother wasn't there, Neil took him to his grandparents' house. Since Lisa's parents had a key, they were able to gain access to her home. There was a pot of tea that you drink, not dinner, as we would call it in New Zealand, on the stove with a napkin still wrapped around the handle. It appeared as though Lisa was about to move the kettle aside when something unexpected happened. Her purse was gone, but her driver's license and social security card were later found in an envelope inside the home. I'm not sure who puts an envelope or puts their security social card and their driver's license in an envelope. I'm not sure, but there you go. Lisa was reported missing that night. A witness reported seeing her at a pit stop convenience store about 9 a.m. CCTV confirmed that Lisa was filling the car she had borrowed with gas while reading a newspaper. So I'm not sure how this lady could do both. She's pretty special. Spring cleaning kaleidoscope, can't chat. That's all right. We know you're in the background listening, hon. Neil said Lisa called him at 10 a.m. from her home and told him she was expecting a friend. She reportedly did not mention the friend's name, nor did she tell anyone about this alleged meeting. The authorities confirmed that all calls to Lisa after 10 a.m. went unanswered. An entire week later, scent sniffing dogs were finally deployed in and around the vicinity of Lisa's home. However, nothing was found. She has never been heard from or seen again. Hey, Fast Hemi, welcome. Good to see you. Ryan and Christina were subsequently raised by their grandparents. They never stopped searching for Lisa, who they described as the life of the party. She made sure we had a roof over our heads and food in our mouths to eat. She was a wonderful mother, Christina told news reporters in 2014. And it seems like, what are you doing? It looks like my co-host has arrived. Get it away from there. I'm reading. I can't read it through you. So the co-host has finally turned up. Thanks, Ronnie, for gracing us with your presence, sir. Can I continue now? Are you out of my way? Yeah? All right. Where were we? No, that's not the one. Where's that one we had before? That one? That one? That one. Yeah, so from all reports, she was a great mum. At the time of her disappearance, Lisa was having an affair with somebody called Bubba. And although there were rumours that Lisa was pregnant with his child, this hasn't been confirmed. Yes, I see you there. Other than James, there were several persons of interest, including the person that she borrowed the car from. And he was actually, this is the only place I've seen this described as her sugar daddy. I don't know if I like that representation. I don't think it's necessary. Nearly 20 years later, the search for Lisa Marie Shuttleworth continues. She was last wearing a white T-shirt and pink or grey sweatpants. She was also carrying a paper. Today she would be 53, although I don't know when this was published. And if you have any information, the number to call is in the description box below. We will go to another article, and this one is actually written with her son. So this one's more reliable, I think, than the last one. Never trust a guy named Bubba, says Pam. Well, it's an interesting name. I tell you, there's lots of interesting names out there. Max says Bubba, a name of someone in prison. Yeah, I kind of think, yeah, if you've seen some prison movies. Oi, stop doing that to my furniture. Sorry. If you watch some prison movies, yes, I've heard the name Bubba, for sure. All right. This is NBCnews.com. Says, son dedicated to finding missing Aiken, South Carolina mum, Lisa Shuttleworth, 19 years later. I'm for certain going to figure it out. The 34-year-old mother of two disappeared from her South Carolina home September 2003. She was always the life of the party, Ryan Shuttleworth told Dateline. She was just a cool mum. On September 3rd, 2003, Ryan's mum, 34-year-old Lisa, disappeared in Aiken, South Carolina. Ryan told Dateline his family is from the North Augusta area of South Carolina. He said it's your average old little town. We have turkey shoots and stuff like that. In New Zealand, do we have turkey shoots? What's a turkey shoot? Anywho, Lisa has two children, a daughter named Christina and a son named Ryan. Christina kind of stayed with my grandparents a lot more, Ryan said. He said his older sister enjoyed staying with the grandparents because they spoiled her. And I think if we have kids and we know grandparents, they do exactly the same, spoil them. So Ryan said it was just me and my mum most of the time. Lisa and Ryan's father divorced in 2003. Ryan said his father also lived in South Carolina but wasn't really in the picture. She says, I really didn't see him often at all. Ryan told Dateline he and his mum were extraordinarily close. She was loving and caring and smart. She was just awesome. And, you know, this young man was only 9 years old when she went missing. That's so young, so young. So Ryan was just 9 years old. He remembers the day started like any other day. She got up, made me breakfast, and took me to school, Ryan recalled. Ryan said his mother was supposed to pick him up from the bus stop after school that afternoon. When I got off, she wasn't there, he said. So I walked to the house and there was all the cars in the driveway. Everything looked normal, but the door was locked. Hold the phone. Ryan told Dateline he initially didn't think anything of it. So he just went across the street to his mate's house and waited for his mum to come home. But sadly, she never did come home. This time, it was later on in the afternoon, just about dark. So I sat there and waited on her for, hours. He said while waiting, he noticed one of his mother's friends showed up at the house looking for her. And Ryan informed him she wasn't home. The friend then took me to my grandparents, he said, because we couldn't get in the house and nobody knew where she was, he said. Ryan's grandparents only lived a few miles away. His sister, Christina, wasn't there yet when Ryan and his mum's friend arrived with news that Lisa was missing. She was riding home with her friend from school. And when Christina arrived at the grandparents' house, then we informed her that mum was missing. The family eventually got into Lisa's house. Again, there was a pot of tea with the napkin over it, which is really, really weird. I think you only put a napkin over the teapot when you're about to pick it up, right? You don't put it there while the tea is boiling. So it is like something happened in that moment. Hi, Amanda. Nice to see you. Everything he said, her clothes were all there. The only thing missing was her pocketbook. Ryan said his grandparents called the police that night to tell them their daughter had vanished. But this is going to make you mad because it makes me mad. The police informed them they had to wait at least 24 hours to file a report. Thank goodness it doesn't happen that way anymore. Well, it shouldn't. There's no reason for people to have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours. If the cops tell you that, then they're full of poo. So challenge them, because it's not the truth. On September 5, 2003, Lisa Shuttleworth was officially reported missing to the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. Dateline spoke with Captain Eric Abdallah from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. Referring to the original police report, he confirmed that Lisa's family grew worried when she failed to pick up Ryan from the bus stop at around 3 p.m. Captain Abdallah said that Lisa was last seen at her residence in Middle Street in Aiken. He said she did not have any known medical problems. Although it's been 19 years since anyone has seen or heard from Lisa, Captain Abdallah told Dateline that there's nothing in Lisa's missing persons report that would indicate foul play. Am I alone here in thinking, well, I don't think it's anything but foul play? I don't think this attentive mother just left on her own accord. It doesn't seem right to me, but, there you go. Obviously, we're hoping that anyone with information comes forward, no matter how small or insignificant. You agree with me, Pam? Ryan told Dateline he is extremely disappointed in the police investigation, and we hear this on a multitude of cases of missing people or unsolved murders. It doesn't matter. People are so unhappy with the police so much of the time. It's really, really sad. Sometimes the cops can be amazing, and probably more than not, the cops do an amazing job. But sometimes it seems when it's to do with the family, they just lose it sometimes, the connection, or they feel like the compassion is just not there from the police. Ryan told Dateline he is extremely disappointed in the police. They didn't do a proper investigation at first, Ryan said. He believes they still aren't. He says, they just don't care. Ryan said he has tried numerous times to get updates on his mum's case, and every time Aiken investigators have nothing to say to him. I believe a lot of possible evidence was overlooked, he said. And if you think about the fact that they had to wait 24 hours to report her missing, that's a long time. That's 24 hours of stuff that they missed. So absolutely, it could feel like they dropped the ball and they missed a lot of stuff. Regardless of what he feels is a lack of investigating by police, Ryan said he will never stop fighting for answers. He said, I just think that somebody did something to her. He said, I've done my own investigation. I'm for certain going to figure it out. And, these kids have got to go on for the rest of their lives, their natural lives, knowing that their mum just disappeared and not knowing anything. And I could never imagine how awful that must feel. One of the ways Ryan plans to do that is with the Forever Searching for Lisa Marie Facebook page, which is dedicated to spreading awareness of his mother's disappearance. He is hoping the exposure will finally lead to some answers. Lisa is 5'3" and at the time of her disappearance weighed 102 pounds. In New Zealand, that's sweet efful. With brown hair and blue eyes, and according to her son Ryan, she was beautiful. Now, this is the Facebook page, Forever Searching for Lisa Marie Shuttleworth. I have had a look. It's absolutely active. The last post was 17 hours ago. So I've liked it. Go along, give it a like as well. It's in the description box below. Very, very sad case. Very sad case. Max, kids suffer the most. Yeah, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. He said, never put yourself in a situation you can't get out of. I was 14 and it happened one time, and when I got the chance, I was gone. Yeah, unfortunately, the stats are there. missing. There's so many hundreds of thousands across the world. Pam said, thank goodness I was young and dumb and ignorant to what could happen, but was somewhat and always careful. My dad missed one time, never heard him say it again. Sorry, I couldn't read that properly. So yeah, in the description box below is the Facebook page. I always also must say in the description box below is the link to our Facebook page. We also have a podcast and a website, and ways to donate or become a member. All that stuff is down below. Every source I use is down below as well. So please check those out. And we will go on to our next case. This next case is very, it happened last year. So it's not a very old case. So hopefully if we can share this out enough and enough people see it, we may get someone to see something about this. All right. Okay, just let me figure out my shit. Okay. Pam said, my dad told me one time only, kid, never put yourself in a situation you can't get out of. All right, Pam, that makes so much more sense, hon. All right. Back to the charlieproject.org. Hold the phone while you look at all these pictures. I had to get that in. So we are looking at the profile of Alexis Dyshee Ware. We have a lot of photos of this young lady. She's absolutely beautiful. Also, we have a lot of tattoos that she has, which make her stand out a bit more, and we've got some really good descriptions of those tattoos. And then we're going to look at a couple of articles and her family, what they've got to say as well. So this young lady, she has been missing since the 30th of January 2022 from Anderson, South Carolina. She is a black female, 29, 5'4" to 5'6", 215 to 230 pounds, a black jacket, a purple shirt, blue jeans, black Crocs, and a black hair bonnet. She was in a red 2019 Honda Accord Sport with dark tinted windows and the South Carolina license plate number 6635NS. All right. Distinguishing characteristics. She has a lot of tattoos, this young lady. Black hair, brown eyes. She may style her hair with red braids or long black braids, or may cut it short. Her ears and cheeks are pierced. She has numerous tattoos, including a rose on one hand, a leaf-like feather on her other hand, footprints and the date 11-30-19 on her arm, flowers on her hip and thigh, paw prints on her other thigh, a cheetah print pattern on her shoulder, a cross between her breasts, and additional tattoos on both sides of her chest, her back, her abdomen, both forearms, the inside of her wrist, and on her calf. Photos of some of her tattoos is posted with this case summary. As we can see, her nickname is Lex. She wears a full set of dentures. Hey, Denise, welcome, darling. Good to see you. Now, I think this lady possibly has more tattoos than me, and that's saying something because I thought that I had a lot, but sounds like this lady has a lot more than me. Let's go through some details of the disappearance, and it's an odd one, guys, a really odd one. She was last seen on Highway 29 north in Anderson, South Carolina on January 30th, 2022. She met with her children's father, TJ Patterson, at the 7-Eleven store to pick up their 2 children. Surveillance video of the pair in the store parking lot did not show indications that anything was wrong at the time. The plan was for her to follow Patterson back to his mum's home, but she never arrived. He stated that at a red light, she went around him and drove away at a high rate of speed. When Patterson tried to call her, she didn't answer the phone, and she has never been seen or heard from again. Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Prior to her disappearance, she had been getting unwanted phone calls from someone she didn't want to speak to, but she never said who that was. She also said that someone driving a black truck had been following her for weeks. So it's quite alarming that she had been getting calls from someone that she didn't want to and had this black truck following her in the weeks before her disappearance. So very, very odd. The day before her disappearance, she was crying about her upcoming 30th birthday. She indicated she was afraid something would happen to her and she would not survive to see her birthday. She normally planned her birthday celebrations months in advance, but wasn't planning to do anything special that year. So, really odd. I don't think it's odd to cry about your birthday. I don't like getting older. I don't know anyone that does, and I certainly don't like celebrating my birthdays as I get older. Cell phone records indicate Lexi's phone was pinged at 8:15 p.m. after she dropped her children off 30 miles away. That same night, highway cameras showed her car in Augusta, Georgia, and then showed it driving back into South Carolina. She did have an upcoming appointment at the state lottery office in Augusta, but never showed up for it. If we have a quick look at this tab, so she was, and if you don't know where South Carolina is, by the way, big red dot. So she was last seen sort of here. This was where she dropped the children off to the ex. Augusta is down here, so she was seen down there, and then she sort of drove back. Where the hell was I? The vehicle was located abandoned on a rural road in McCormick, 70 miles from Anderson on February the 2nd. So again, McCormick is in the middle here. So it appears she's driven right down to Augusta and then back, and her car was found in McCormick. And this is quite a drive, you know. It's a good couple of hours drive. Lexi's phone, keys, purse, identification, and a bag of clothing were inside the car, which was covered with mud. Her black hair bonnet, which she had been wearing at the time of her disappearance, was lying on the ground next to her car. The area where it was found is noted for deer hunting activity, but Alexis' mother can't think of any reason why she would have gone there, and it's in the opposite direction of her intended travel destination. So all this to me is a big red flag. You're all saying that age is just how you feel. It's a number. Yeah, I know, but I feel old with my chronic pain and my chronic fatigue, and the stuff I've been through. Sometimes I feel really, really old. But you're only as old as you feel, I guess. I love it how you guys just chat away there. Patterson, the dad, the father of the kids, has been ruled out as a suspect in Alexis' case. Why do I keep calling her Liz? Her family believes she may have been abducted, as it's uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning or to abandon her children. Lexi worked as a hairstylist at the time of her disappearance. She had a large clientele from multiple states and a significant social media presence. She had been making plans to move to the Atlanta, Georgia area and set up a boutique. She'd already purchased stock. She planned to sell there. Her case remains unsolved. So this doesn't sound like a woman that's just leaving her children or anything like that. She had plans. She had plans to set up another boutique. She'd bought stock. It's uncharacteristic that she'd leave her children. So a lot of red flags. We're going to go now to wyff4.com. New information released in case of missing South Carolina mum not seen in a year. This was actually updated and posted on January 30th of this year, so it's quite new. I'm going to play some of the videos, but if I get a copyright strike, I'll have to unmonetize the stream, but that's okay. Hopefully they won't do that. Let's have a little look. After the ad.
Years since Alexis Ware went missing in the upstate. The mother of two was last seen at the 7-Eleven on Highway 29 North in Anderson. Today, the Anderson County Sheriff's Office revealed that the father of Alexis's son is no longer a person of interest by detectives. That man was the last person to see Ware the day that she went missing. The FBI is also assisting in the search. There's a $5,000 reward being offered by Crime Stoppers for help in finding Alexis Ware.
I hope you can hear that, guys. So authorities are releasing new information exactly 1 year since an upstate woman was reported missing. Alexis Ware was last seen on January the 30th, 2022 at the 7-Eleven on Highway 29 North. Her family told WYFF News 4 that Ware had met with one of her children's fathers to drop off the child. Authorities said her car was found February 2nd in McCormick County, South Carolina.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, want to go fishing?
The folks.
Irvin, thank you. Right now, deputies in Anderson County are asking for your help finding a missing woman. Her name is Alexis Ware. Deputies say she was last seen on Highway 29 North on Sunday. Her car was found today in McCormick County, but she was not in the car. If you do see her or know anything about her disappearance, call deputies.
On Monday, the Anderson County Sheriff's Office announced that the father of Ware's son is no longer a person of interest in the case. Authorities say he was the last person to see Alexis at the 7-Eleven and has been investigated since the case began, which is normal, I guess. The last person to see her alive, police are going to investigate. He's an ex, so yeah. Several avenues suggest he had no involvement in the mother of two's disappearance, a news release from the sheriff's office said.
Good evening, Nigel and Kara. This billboard right here on Woodruff Road will now get thousands of eyes on it, and Ware's family hopes just one person can come forward to help bring Alexis home.
You know, we want to remind, it's been 5 months and she's still missing, and we just want her home.
A new billboard along Woodruff Road is looking to keep the search for Alexis alive.
Woodruff Road is a very, very busy road, and just putting it out there is giving me that hope.
Ware disappeared back in January in Anderson County, and even as the days pass, her family says they will never stop looking.
She is a mom. She is a daughter. Her kids miss her. They need her. Her mother misses her. We all miss her.
Later in the day, dozens of candles lit up and music filled the air.
For some reason, gospel just keeps me calm. It keeps me grounded. And gives me the strength to keep pushing.
A single flame, signifying the hope of one day bringing Alexis home.
And just thinking about how much I miss my baby, how much she means to me, how much I need her.
Ware's family says this will not be the only billboard here in the upstate. They plan on putting another one in Anderson County at a later time. But for now, live in Greenville.
I think that's absolutely amazing that that billboard is up. That's huge. That's on, from what I can tell, a really busy place. And we can only hope that people see it. But geez, seeing that family upset like that just breaks my heart. And the reason I do this is because of families, because I see their heartache and I can't imagine what that's like. It must be absolutely awful. And I don't know, I want these cases out there. I want them to be seen. And I want to do everything I can. And I want to do it with as much compassion and understanding for the families as I can as well. The Sheriff's Office also released details of the efforts to find Alexis. To date, multiple agencies, including SLED, I don't know what SLED is, have combed through miles of terrain by air support, canine and cadaver units and search and rescue teams, the release said. Countless hours of interrogating, interviewing and investigating continue to uncover invaluable information as recently as last week. We unfortunately, now this is going to piss you off because it fucking pisses me off. We unfortunately receive hundreds of false tips that detectives must take time to eliminate. These pranks not only waste resources but give the family a helpless feeling. I don't know how someone could sit there and do that to a family that's already in so much pain, and then ring up with false leads, giving the family hope and then dashing their hope. I just couldn't imagine. I can't imagine how people can do that. It's just gross and ugly. There is a $5,000 reward through Crime Stoppers leading to Alexis being found. The lead detective, Jason Fowler, said, "I remain positive and it's my hope and belief that Alexis is alive. It's important for me to work every day to locate her and bring her safely home to her children." Alexis' mum, Alberta, told WYFF News 4 shortly after she was reported missing that she has gotten numerous messages from a person alleging to know where Alexis Ware is. Hear more of what she said since her daughter's disappearance.
It has been almost a year since Alexis Ware disappeared after leaving a gas station in Anderson County.
Our Carlos Flores caught up with Ware's mother on how she's tried to stay positive after all this time. Carlos?
Nigel, Sydney, January 30th will be 1 year since Alberta Gray Simpkins spoke with her daughter Alexis. But even though it has been that long, she continues to stay positive and never gives up hope. Alberta Gray Simpkins says every day without her daughter Alexis has been hard.
Nothing has changed. And still, no answers as to what happened to her. That's kind of hard to deal with.
Ware was last seen at the 7-Eleven on Highway 29 North in Anderson. Since her daughter's disappearance, Simpkins has been caring for her daughter's 2 children, trying to make the best of their birthdays, Christmas, and New Year's. But deep down, Simpkins knows they miss their mom.
Kids making comments, not understanding the severity of the situation. And I try to keep her grounded as much as possible. He cries for her. I show him pictures of her right now. He still remembers his mom.
As time passes, Simpkins continues to share her daughter's story and hopes one day she'll come home.
This could happen to anybody. And we just need somebody to have enough. Just tell somebody what happened.
Is there a message you have for her?
She knows I love her. She knows that I miss her. I think about her daily. I pray for her daily, and I just want her back.
I reached out to the Anderson County Sheriff's Office about Ware's case, and they sent me the following statement. It says, quote, "We are actively working on this case. If anyone has any information about Alexis's whereabouts, we encourage them to contact the Anderson County Sheriff's Office or submit an anonymous Crime Stoppers tip to www.andersoncrimestoppers.com or www.p3tips.com. Aaron, Sydney, back to you.
I think that's it. I do have, though, the Facebook page. So this is Help Find Alexis Ware, Bring Lex Home. Obviously, being a relatively new case, people are commenting on here quite regularly. Now, I mean, this young lady is quite memorable. She's got a lot of characteristics, a lot of tattoos that people can see. You know, I think I actually got a little teary-eyed then with the family speaking. I just can't imagine. And Denise in the comments, honey, gosh, I've just got so much love and respect for you and what you have been through, because I know that's real tough, darling. So before we have a quick chat, we will go to the wheel of, I don't know what it's the wheel of. It's our wheel. We're going to our wheel of something. If it goes, hang on. Come on, wheel. Oh, there he goes. Oh, no, he's gone. Hang on. Let's find the wheel. Yay, we found the wheel. I knew he was there somewhere. All right, so we're going to click on the wheel just to see what cases or what place we're going to find cases from. You can see my little kiwi in the middle. For some reason, I can't get him in the middle. I tried like for hours, and I think I just about cried with frustration and nearly chucked this out the window. So I just gave up. But my friends, let's spin the wheel. Where is it going to be? It is just a little bit Alabama. I don't know much about Alabama, but I'm fixing to find out. So that's awesome. So, of course, if you know any cold cases from Alabama, that you want us to cover next time we're on, let us know. And we're definitely going to do that. I better write Alabama down. Now, there was a couple of other things I wanted to mention. There was a missing young man, Scotty Morris, that was missing. It was quite a big case. It's the young man that had a shirt on that had some awful things written on it. He has been found alive. Last update, he was just getting checked out by medics and then going to be talked to see what happened. There was an Amber Alert in Robinson, Texas, yesterday or last night in New Zealand time. An Amber Alert for a 14-year-old. That 14-year-old has now been found. So the Amber Alert has been ended. And I also wanted to say, send my thoughts and prayers to those in Mississippi that have seen tornadoes and loss of life there, which is truly sad. And I really feel for those people. There was one for this morning too. What's that? An Amber Alert? You'd have to tell me where it was. Denise says, I celebrated a year for justice yesterday, but some don't have justice yet. Yeah. And some will never get justice. Very, very sad. Wheel of Crime. Yeah, maybe the Wheel of Crime, because I don't know what to call it. It's just like the wheel of place names at the moment. An Amber Alert in Texas. I can have a quick look and have a look. Oh, shit. Okay. I'll show you this one, guys. Share screen. Okay, we've got Amber Alert issued for missing 6-year-old last seen in Everman. This was updated 3 hours ago. We are looking at mbcdfw.com. Why is this so hard to see? Oh my God. An Amber Alert is in effect for a missing 6-year-old boy who police say was abducted Friday in the Tarrant County city of Everman. A release from the Everman Police Department said its department was notified by CPS stating that Noel had not been seen by his family since November 2022. What the actual F? You haven't seen your kid since November 2022. Noel Rodriguez Alvarez, 6, is described as having black hair and brown eyes. What a gorgeous little man. Everman police are looking for his mum, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, 37, in connection with his abduction. According to EPD, she is 5 feet tall, weighs about 140 pounds, and has tattoos on her chest, brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen driving a grey 2012 Silverado bearing Texas license plate PLS7091 in Everman. In the release sent out Saturday, EPD said Noel Rodriguez Alvarez suffers numerous physical and developmental challenges, and family members have expressed great concern for his safety. According to EPD, they received information that the child may be with his father in Mexico, but authorities determined that that information was false. Cindy has since absconded and law enforcement has been unable to locate her. Police say Cindy may also be accompanied by her 6 other children, aging from 5-month-old twins, 7, 8, 9, and 11. Hell, lady's got some kids, man. That's a lot of kids. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of Cindy Rodriguez Singh. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Everman Police Department at 817-293-2923 or call 911 immediately. And here, luckily, we have a photo of her, a photo of the truck, and a photo of this little man. So, guys, if you can share that out, that would be really good. Oh, gosh. There was another one this morning too. Yeah, I'll have a look again. Seems like there's just some everywhere. It said a 4-year-old boy mother abducted in Rochester has been found safe. Another Amber Alert discontinued near Fort Worth, Texas, as that kid has been found safe too. Thank goodness for that. I love that system. It's amazing. And I love that heaps of kids are getting found. I think it's amazing, and I think they should do that here. I'm going to go, guys. Please share this out. Thank you so much, Max, Denise, and Pam, for hanging out with me. This wasn't a popular live stream, it seems. So I hope the replay crew are around and can share it out as well. I'd appreciate it. I'm actually working on a New Zealand case today and hope to record the video and get that out on the Facebook page as well as YouTube. So thank you, guys. Yeah, Denise, I'll be seeing you in another chat for sure. Max says, New Zealand, I can't get on late night chats that we share, but we'll hope to see you soon. I know. That's why I do this time and I do late night. And I'm hoping that between both that I will catch everybody in the world. Time zones are not my friend. All right, guys, thanks very much. I love yous. I appreciate each and every one of you that spends time with me. We are going to look into Alabama next time.